Sahanau bhunaktu sahaviryam karavavahai tejasvina vadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. What is the origin of karma theory? What's the origin of karma theory? In Vedic scriptures, please explain the. Now I can see. So that's it. Well, that's right. As I saw, then I remember. What is the origin of karma theory? That's a good question. What karma theory is, the law of karma, is simply the law of cause and effect. Effect is compatible to the cause. So karma, or the action that you perform, becomes the cause to produce karma phala, or the result. So the result is in keeping with the action that you perform. As you sow, so you reap. That simple rule of cause and effect is the karma theory. Now, other important thing in the karma theory is that the jivatma or the individual self does not die. The jiva, the namriyate, Chandogya says that, or anybody would say that jivatma does not die. It transmigrates from one gross body to the other. We do not accept the destruction or death or end of the life. Life continues and it changes the embodiment. Why do they accept the death of life? I don't know. If you do not accept a jivatma separate from the body, then death of the body is death of jivatma. We accept the jivatma or the subtle body with consciousness as jivatma is the indweller of this body, and the association of the jivatma with this body is determined by prarabdha karma. As long as destiny is there, so long jivatma remains associated with this body. When prarabdha karma is exhausted, he departs from this body. Then his prarabdha will take him to the new body. And thus, karma presupposes the continuity of life. Because then alone, without karma, you cannot explain this life. How to explain the diversity? How is it that every individual is different and unique? That is because each one of us had a unique history. Thus we have inherited unique kind of samskaras or impressions, nature. So this explains the uniqueness of all living beings. Because each one has their own unique history of karma, and the present is the result of the past. So, present is the karma phala, or the karma performed in the past. This is the simple law of cause and effect. Except that it would apply only when there is continuity of life. So there is conservation of life. Life also doesn't come to an end. The body, yes, and it merges into its components and then arises again. But body is the container, jiva is the indweller of the body. He is the one that performs karma, he is the one that experiences the result of the karma. So this is the general understanding of the law of karma. And that explains the diversity that we see in the universe. Please explain the concept of free will. Free will is the freedom of choice. That human being has free will is because we have the freedom to choose what to do, what not to do, or how to do. Kartum shakyam, akartum shakyam, anyatha va kartum shakyam. Kartum shakyam, I can do things in one way, do it. Akartum shakyam, not do it. Anyatha va kartum shakyam, I do it in whichever way I want. Thus, in every situation, we have this choice whether to do, not to do, and how to do. So that is a freedom of choice, that is called free will or freedom of choice. And there is not always a debate in beginningless whether it is all free will and destiny. But we have to accept both free will as well as destiny. What is destiny today is a result of the karma I performed in the past when I had free will. So destiny today is the result of free will of the past, understand? And this will become the basis of my future, So this law of karma says that we build our own destiny. We are accountable for what we do, and therefore what I do in the present determines my future or destiny. In that sense, each one of us is the builder of our own destiny, which means that we must take responsibility of what we do. Karmanyavadhikarasya Arjuna, it is your responsibility to do what is right. Ma phaleshu kadachana, and then also not because you do it because it is right, not because it is beneficial. Anyway, so that is one step further. So how can we use them in a spiritual journey? Use the free will to make the right choices. Now, spiritual journey, in a simple way, would be living the life of right values and attitudes. The first step and an important step in spiritual journey is whatever I do is based on right values and attitudes. That's what Lord Krishna teaches in Bhagavad Gita. He teaches the attitudes that may perform action in the spirit of a contributor, in the word of Puja Swamiji, or may your action be an act of offering. So, this is an attitude. When the outcome comes, accept it gracefully, an attitude. So, these attitudes Lord Krishna teaches very important. Values are well known, and so Lord Krishna, of course, dharma means doing what is right. As our Puja Swamiji would say, that we would have a choice of what I like and what is right. Very often, what I like may not be right because there will be temptations And therefore, I may be tempted to do something which is convenient rather than what is right. In that case, make sure that you choose or do what is right, whether you like it or not. So that is what makes a journey a spiritual journey. In every situation, to do what is right, whether it is convenient or not. Choice between what is right and what is convenient. So I have to keep letting go of my convenience, which means I have to keep letting go of my ragadvesha. Because convenience is what? I like to do what I like and I like to avoid what I do not like. No, do what is right, whether you like it or not. So that enables me to let go of the ragadveshas. And that's how it becomes a spiritual journey. What is spiritual journey? The journey which brings about inner growth, inner purification, which means inner freedom, and the bondages of the nature of the impulses of ragadveshas, attachment, aversion. Therefore, I have the freedom to make myself free by making right choices. Any question? He's bringing the microphone. Here, right in the front. Oh? It's called hijacked.
Pranam Swamiji. Your explanation of the karma theory seems to imply to me that each jivatma is separate. But doesn't that violate the non-duality?
Each jivatma is separate, like each ornament is separate from the other. The separation is at the level of name and form, but not at the level of content. So when two ornaments are different from each other, they can still be same from their content, that is gold. So two jivas are different at the level of name and form, level of content, that you are also Brahman, I am also Brahman. That way, that is where the non-duality is.
Pranam Swami. Hello. Yeah. So this question a little elaborate I will ask. Please bear with me, Swamiji. So what is the difference between what needs to be done and what is right? Because if I take an example, a child, it doesn't know what is right or wrong, but it instinctively knows that it has to go to the mother, and it does that. Whereas having the knowledge of what is right and wrong, doing something, how it can be differentiated? Is there anything low level or upper level?
In case of child, still the mind is not developed enough to make choices. So we're talking of people, adults, in whom the mind is developed to understand what is right and not right, or what is right and convenient, and then to make the choices. When one does not know, then there is nothing right or wrong. Usually then they function according to, as guided by the elders. Or they do what they like to do. But then we can't follow them. So I don't think we got, when we are small, you enjoy the sweets and laddus, So mother has prepared them in a box. And she knows the children. So she very cleverly puts the box in a way that we would never locate it. Right in front of you, you will never suspect that it can be there. Somehow we may find out, and by the time she comes home, half of it is gone. So this is what children do. They decide what is right for them, because yet the consequence of this action, that kartrutva buddhi is hopefully not developed that well, to make them accountable. Why Sanskrit alone is the language of Vedas, and why we lost touch with this divine language, even though most Indian languages have Sanskrit words and influence. Sanskrit, I do not know if it ever was the language of community. I think it always was the language of the scholars. And the communities, as these things evolved, the languages slowly and slowly evolved from Sanskrit, most of them. They took their own form. And so Sanskrit is not easy, It was a language, I do not know if it ever was a language of a common man. It was always a language of the Panditas. So, then as a need, or let us say the utility of Sanskrit, because as we grow, we become more utilitarian. How useful it is. What can I get out of that? And so the education then became more utilitarian. And I learned something because it is useful to me for artha kama. How can I make more money and how can I enjoy life? When that becomes then dharma and all these Sanskrit, etc., they all get tossed away. And so because Sanskrit cannot help you in artha kama. That's why in India also English is the most important language because that's what will help you earn more money, communicate, go abroad. That's all. It's just a matter of utility. Nothing will survive if it is not useful. In present times, how a Vanaprasthi can take up serious scriptural studies, including what is it? Shad Darshana. Okay. Since he may not be able to follow it up with sannyasa. Fortunately, now these institutes, so Swami is offering a course where Vanaprasthi may not be, I think they fall out of the region, so the age limit is 45 or something.
60.
Oh wow, okay.
With relaxation of 5 years for suitable candidate.
Because I thought it was 45, so I told somebody, I said, you are not qualified. So I said, I would hesitate to recommend you, because that's Swamiji. But so now I understand it's 60 plus or plus 5 necessary. Okay.
Next time they can try. This time it is over.
This time is over, that's it. So next time after 3 years or 5 years. 5 years. It's over. All right. I thought, between you and me, he is not listening. I thought I'll use my influence with Swamiji. But he has made very clear openly, that influence won't work. I thought I had enough influence with Swamiji that I can push somebody like that, But he's publicly now said, it's all over, it's done. So even I would hesitate.
Listening Swamiji, I can tell that Swamiji's recommendation will be accepted.
Now many opportunities of studying is available with Puja Swamiji's disciples and Chinmaya Mission. Now there are many centers of learning. Many teachers are there in most of the cities. And of course there are many Pandits also. So if you want to like Shad Darshana, etc., if you are in a place like Chennai or Coimbatore or Mumbai, etc., I'm sure scholars are available where you can learn this. You may have to make a little effort to do that. They don't expect you to be a sannyasi.
Swamiji, is Shaddarshana means? Swamiji, sorry. Shaddarshana are mostly for all scholarly people, or because we are into Uttara Mimamsa only, no? So should we learn those also? Is it necessary to learn the other darshanas, what they prescribe, Is it necessary?
Sometimes necessary to know parts of it. But usually the teacher takes care of that part. You will need to know a little bit of Mimamsa, some Nyaya, a little bit of Sankhya, some Vyakaranam. And we do not put our students to that strenuous study. If you go to Kailas Ashram, then first you have to go through that. Here, they'll take care, they'll make up for what you do not know. That's how we studied, anyway. Bhagavad Gita says Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga and Jnana Yoga, the three different paths to attaining liberation. But today's Mundakopanishad shloka says Karma Yoga cannot lead to liberation. Only the knowledge of self can do so. Kindly explain what is achievable by the three yogas discussed in the Gita. So as far as Vedanta is concerned, knowledge alone is a means, because as we discussed in the class in the afternoon, what separates me from what I want to be is ignorance. And therefore, knowledge is only means to know the reality of myself, which will eliminate all the complexes and make me free. For the knowledge, you require a mind which enjoys a certain, poise, leisure, purity. For that, Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga are the means. So by Bhakti Yoga here we mean Upasana. Otherwise, both of them are the same spirit. So Karma Yoga means performing action outwardly. Bhakti Yoga means performing mental worship. Both of them become means of purification and thus prepare us for knowledge. So that's how Bhashyakara explains in the Bhagavad Gita. Though in Hindu religion we understand that there is only one God, Ishvara, still across our country we pray multiple deities, many Ishta Devatas. What is the reason behind this, unlike other religions in our country? Like Islam, Christianity, Buddhism, Jainism, only one God. So, I think this must be clear by now, but anyway, it is one Ishvara, and all other names are what we call functional names. For example, right now I am a speaker. You are a listener. Before, sometime I was eater. Then I'll be walker. So walker, talker, eater, all of these are what? Functional names of the same person based on the function that he performs. So Ishvara can be called Brahma from the standpoint of the function of creation, Vishnu from the standpoint of preservation, and similarly all these Devatas are manifestations of the same Lord, same Ishvara, where a certain aspect is emphasized. And so it's not multiple. Deities are multiple, meaning their expressions are many. To explain the children, I say, look, your father, what do you call him? Dad. Your mom calls him husband. Your grandfather, son. Your uncle, brother. So is he brother or son or husband or father or uncle? What is he? Are these all different people? No. One person, depending upon the function that he performs, is called by different designations. At home, he is a father and he is in kurta pajama. Goes to work, suited, booted, stick in hand, Goes to temple with his, what shall I say, silver silk clothes. Goes to sports club, different kinds of clothes. So how depending upon the function that a person performs, his garments also change, his action also changes, his name also may change. He is called dad here, he is called boss, manager there, he may be called a tennis player there. All functional names. Similarly, many functional names of Ishvara, that doesn't make many persons. One person is called by different names depending on the functions that he performs. So I say that, it is like this. When there is this buffet, Swaruchi Bhojanam means. So we have 20 different kinds of dishes. Other fellows have only khichdi, that's all they have. Suppose I don't like a particular, they present, Christ as them. Suppose I don't like, so whatever, for whatever reason, what shall I do now? If I don't like one, you go to this, choice. You have like in your Swaruchi Bhojanam or in buffet. So what is an advantage and what is the glory is stupidly thought to be a liability. Because these poor Hindus are most ill-informed about Hinduism, either uninformed or ill-informed. And so they are always apologetic. Oh, you are only one of your so many gods, because we don't understand the glory of what we have, and therefore, so they used to ask, when somebody asked Bada Swamiji, so do you convert people? He said, no, I want to convert Hindus to Hindus, he said, Oh, can Swami explain more about to know something, that entity should not be different from me. To know something in totality. Because this part is different from me, at any given point in time, I will be exposed to only one aspect of the part. Keep changing aspects, at any time my knowledge will be partial knowledge. And if I add up all parts and still it will not become whole. Meaning that as long as this part and I are separate, there is no way that I can know this part in its entirety. Think about it. All I know is the standpoint. What Swamiji is the joke? That once he was visiting one, exhibition, painting. And so he was inaugurating, and the painter was with him and showing his modern art. So they came to a certain painting, and Swamiji says, what is this? The painter says, Swamiji, this is a table. If you look from below, if you're underneath the table, how will it look? So this is how the different standpoints are there. One thing can be looked upon in various ways. That doesn't make it many. At the same time, I can only get a partial viewpoint. The only thing I can know totally is myself. Therefore, even if Ishvara is separate in heaven, there is no way that he can be omniscient. No way. To claim that Ishvara is in heaven and still to claim that he is omniscient, they just don't understand, what omniscience is, because you cannot know anything separate from you in its entirety. Something separates you, therefore you know only part, viewpoint. Therefore, to know totality, it must be my own self, that alone I can know in totality. Or Ishvara can know the universe if universe is not separate from Ishvara. Separate, even Ishvara also cannot know totality. Many questions are there. Let us take one by one. Please explain the position of Jivatma after leaving the physical body, that is after death, and how much time it may take for rebirth. In fact, the Jivatma, subtle body, must always have a body. So even when it departs from here, it must take a birth right away. The Brihadaranyaka Upanishad explains that at the time of death, the jiva, all the faculties are focused in the heart. And there are several openings in the heart, and depending upon his karma, he will depart from a given opening. So when he departs, he has the vision of what the next embodiment is going to be. And therefore, he departs from here with the knowledge of where that jiva is going. Lands right there. But Swamiji, if he becomes a dog, then Swami Shankaranji explains in Atma Puranam that at that time, when he departs, that he knows he is going to be in that body, and then he loves that body, and that is what also happens. That means that he goes from here willingly to that new embodiment. So this is what the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad explains. Puranas are described in so many ways, and Garuda Purana, this Purana, and so. But this is coming from the Upanishad, the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, which describes the death and how this Jivatma, when he departs with knowledge of where he is going, and it's karma actually that determines what the next embodiment is going to be. And what gender, etc., is all determined by karma. What embodiment, whether it's human or something else, in human also male or female, all of this is decided by the karma.
Then what about the Pitru karma that we do after a person is?
So, the question is, what about the Pitru karma? Means the ritual that we perform for the departed souls. Our belief is that the departed soul has a place in Pitruloka. That he is there, and that the rituals that we perform here, that he will get the benefit, the Pitru will get the benefit of what we do here. That's how the sankalpa is done. Even today also, when the priests perform the rituals, the benefit goes to the host, the yajmana, one who sponsored the ritual. Not the priest who is performing, because the priest has been purchased by the dakshina. And therefore, the action, the ritual that he performs, the benefit goes to the sponsor. Similarly also, when you perform an action here, with this sankalpa that may the result go to the pitru, it supposedly goes there. And whether the jivatma has gone to pitrulaka or not, we don't know, but we believe he may have gone, and that is how we do things. The Shraddha business is not found in Vedas, by the way. It's more Puranic, Between death and birth, where does the jiva lie? Depends on who you listen to. Garuda Purana will say something, this Purana. But then, as I said, we studied from the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad is, there is no gap. From here, he departs with the destination known and takes up the next embodiment. This is what is said there. And at any time, the subtle body has some kind of body. So Chandogya Upanishad says that when subtle body departs, the 5 elements in very subtle form, they envelop him. With that he goes, and whichever loka he goes, those 5 elements will create the body. If he goes to Chandraloka, body suitable to that, Pitraloka, Swargaloka, whatever loka. I would not worry. I never bother about this. Who cares what happens after death? Why should you worry? I won't worry. Vedanta doesn't bother about, Therefore, I never give thought to what happens after death. That's not in my radar at all, what happens after death. But of course, we answer the questions because people have these questions. But if I were you, I would not worry. That's all I'm saying. The next birth is determined by the karma, basically. As Lord Krishna says, Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tejatyande kalevaram tam tame vedi kaunteya sada tad bhavavita. With whatever last thought the jivatma departs from, that is what determines his destiny. And so the destiny is determined essentially, as I said, even while living or before living. During lifetime, some people get pleasures first and suffering later. Some people get suffering first and pleasure later. And also some people get mixed up both throughout life. What's the reason for this? Karma. Meaning every experience that we have is the result of the past karma. A pleasurable experience or a painful experience, both are the result of the past karma. And therefore, whatever karma fructifies at that moment determines what my experience will be. So there is no sequence or no rule that pleasure will come after pain or pain after pleasure, etc. It's all random, I think, So we cannot decide what the sequence is going to be. All we can say is do good, that's all. The only thing we have in our hands is to do good, be good, do good. Because what you're experiencing is the past results of the past action. So you are building your destiny in the present and then perform good actions. Good action is an action performed in the spirit of helping, in the spirit of service, in the spirit of selflessness. That is called the good action. Do as much as you can. That's how we can build up a good destiny for yourself and assure happiness. When I chant a mantra, should my focus be on the sound, word or meaning? Because very often my pronunciation or understanding of the meaning may be incorrect. So what should I do? First of all, please learn the right pronunciation. So consult a pandit or somebody who can teach you how to pronounce things correctly. Secondly, ask a knowledgeable person the meaning of what you are chanting. So these two problems, that I may be pronouncing it wrongly, I might not understand what I am chanting, we have to take care, we have to solve them. You can't let this happen, that you are pronouncing it wrongly. Why should you do that? Go to someone who knows and who can teach you. And also when you are, after all, spending time reciting some mantras or slokas, it's always best that you understand the meaning, because that will be more meaningful. Your spirit or bhava will also be better if you understand the meaning of what you are chanting. So that's what Sage Jaimini said right in the beginning. A person who chants without knowing the meaning is like a donkey carrying the load, load of its sandalwood. It's a load. Therefore Jaimini said right away, you must know the meaning of what it is that you are reciting. But Swami, where should I go? Come here. Yesterday we discussed difficulty in forgiving the person who gives us pain. Two-step response is what we said is no doubt a very good approach and helps in controlling our anger towards the offender. So this is what we said yesterday. I practically found one more approach effective in my case. Whenever somebody's action hurts me, I think that is only nimitta, and my own bad karmas of past have made him to hurt me. So I do not develop any bad feelings for that person. Very good approach. So if you realize that what is happening is my karma doing, there is this Bhikshu Gita in Srimad Bhagavatam Ekadasi Skandha. And this person had developed vairagya, became sannyasi, and for whatever reason, people just harassed him wherever he went. In fact, they tortured him. His approach all along was, it's my karma. This is not torturing me, my karma is doing it. That's how we resolve the thing. So that's a very good way of resolving. Is not the person that is doing something, is my karma that makes the person do that. If you can maintain that kind of self-control. Usually when somebody hurts me, then my immediate response is to hurt back. Two-step response. So first step is to react. Second step is to bring in one of these things. It's a good approach. That yes, it is my karma that makes the person do this. Therefore, I should not have any grudge against this person. So, yes, that way is a good way, and you please do follow that. Is it possible to grow both worldly prosperity and spiritual prosperity together? Yes. Basically, living a life of values, being honest, being sincere, hardworking, and trying not to hurt others. Following these basic values, you can do even sakama karma, means karma, the actions, perform with a specific desire. And that action also, if performed with these values, then it will do both do good to you, and because you have followed dharma, it will also help you in spiritual prosperity. Hopefully a day will come when your interest in the other things, worldly prosperity will reduce, and that thing will take over you. What's a sure way to achieve the ultimate in this birth itself? Viveka, Vairagya. So the Viveka we discussed. Allow some time to yourself, and with the guidance that Upanishad gives us, ask the question, what it is I am seeking in life. What is the desire behind all the desires? What's the way of fulfilling that desire? Meaning this is called Viveka, discerning situations in our life. And then the life will gain a proper direction. Then priorities will become clear. When I realize that there is no point in adding burden in my life, when I perform actions as prompted by desires, that only increases tendency of desiring. If whatever we do repeatedly, in fact, becomes more and more intense. Therefore, we are asked that recognize how a desire binds you. Because desire is like fire, and fulfilling desire is like pouring butter into fire. Meaning that the fire will become more and more intense, and so also more we satisfy the desires, more the desires will become intense. And therefore, it is best to progressively become free from these desires, because they are binding, they are not helping. And also follow these values, they will help you with the mental purity also. Today you mentioned that identification with roles of father, mother, daughter, son, etc. can result in sorrow. But what about identification with roles of guru and shishya? If guru falls sick, shishya may feel sorrow, and vice versa. Please clarify. Yeah, wherever there is attachment, it will create sorrow. In any relationship, and Guru Shishya is one of those relationships, where there is attachment, then when attachment can cause, when not fulfilled, can cause sorrow. So it is not Guru or Shishya, father or mother that feels sad, it is attachment there which is what creates that. And we all have attachment. To be very frank with you, there is no life without attachment. I mean, Vedanta, since we keep saying give up attachment, but between you and me that there can be no life without attachment. There can be no relation without attachment. How can there be without attachment? How can there be spouses, fathers, son, and life cannot be without attachment, really. Try to see if that is not a binding attachment. Without attachment, there is no life. But as best as you can, see that it doesn't become binding attachment. So, all living beings live with attachments. There is some attachment that brings me here also. Swami is there, that Swami is there, and so forth, Vedanta is there. So there is attachment. So I don't deny attachment, as long as it's not binding attachment. When your desire is not fulfilled, that you become depressed and you become sorrowful, etc., that is where we have to see, that we do not become controlled by those things. Attachment is part of life. I'm sharing with you, they may not be outside, world. But to be very practical, though people keep talking about you can, without, there is no life without attachment. There is no relation without attachment. Attachment enables you to do things that is required to be done. I don't do the things that I do for my son. I don't do it for anybody else. Is it not so? No, we have to see that the attachment does not become binding attachment. Usually they are, but that is where we have to watch out and grow. Any other question? Okay, so all right, this time the mic comes to you first, all right? Keep it close to your mouth.
Yeah.
And speak loudly.
So just now we got another response for that two-step process. That reminds me of the irregulated knowledge that is being spread over the social media and internet, but especially in the spirituality sense. So for me personally, there's a problem, like if anything comes up, multiple responses, I'm reminded of multiple responses. Say for example, in the same case where how to avoid the hurt. So that often reminds me the 18th chapter sloka, Adhishtanam Tada. That's
Karta.
And then sometimes I feel better. But sometimes it really hurts. Like that. So it is better offline if we don't encourage such additions to the Guru's response, isn't it?
Yes. If you are not able to manage those things, better avoid them. If you can maintain a certain self-control and maturity, that you can take what is good for you. If that kind of maturity we have, then we can expose to other sources. Even listening to other teachers and so forth, I would say that first of all, develop maturity and get a clarity. Then when you listen to others, then you know what to take and what not to take, because everybody is different. And it may not be that you can accept 100% of anybody else. So, and then there may be some useful things. That doesn't mean you keep on shopping and shopping. But in case you have to listen to others, make sure that you have the maturity to understand and make proper choice. Otherwise, a lot of confusion.
Thank you so much.
Pranam Swamiji. I have heard that some evolved souls, Mahatmas, like Kanchi Paramacharya, Mahaswamigal, when people approached them without even speaking, they could guess why you are going to seek their darshan, and they could read your mind or whatever. Is this possible because of the fact that at the consciousness level, all the Jivatmas are the same, and the evolved Jivatma can communicate without even speech? Is that because of that?
Yeah, there are reports of that happening, yeah. That's it. Any other question? Karthik, क्या गयो? तारो where is our I haven't brought that book. Yeah, one of it. Today is Tuesday, so Matangavadana Ananda Sadanama Matangavadana Ananda Sadanama Mahadeva Shiva Shambho Nandana Mahadeva Shiva Shambho Nandana Matangavadana Ananda Sadana Maya Vilola Mushakavahana Maya Vilola Mushakavahana Mata Maheshwari Bhavani Nandana Mata Maheshwari Bhavani Nandana Mahaganapate Mangala Charanama Mahaganapate Mangala Charana Mahaganapate Mangala Charana Matangavadana Ananda Sadana Mahadeva Shiva Shambho Nandana Matanga Vadana Ananda Sadana Maya Vilola Mushaka Vahana Mata Maheshwari Bhavani Nandana Mahaganapate Mangala Charana Mahaganapate Mangala Charana Matanga Vadana Ananda Sadana Matanga Vadana Ananda Sadana Mahadeva Shiva Shambho Nandana Mahadeva Shiva Shambho Nandana Matanga Vadana Ananda Sadana Maya Vilola Mushaka Vahana Maya Vilola Mushaka Vahana Mata Maheshwari Bhavani Nandana Mata Maheshwari Bhavani Nandana Mahaganapate Mangala Charana Mahaganapate Mangala Charana Matanga Vadana Ananda Sadana Matanga Vadana Ananda Sadana Ananda Sadana Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhaved Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amrutangamaya Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om